What if the Alliance was nicer? Part 3, BFB. I decided I want to try to improve the quality of my what ifs now, so let's start with part 3. By the way, if you're wondering, I'm using Google Slides for the past 2 what ifs, including this one here. And now, I have my voice back, because I realized, yeah, I'm just going to be recording this with OBS while I just go through the presentation. Anyways, let's get started. BFB 1. The very first thing I need to figure out is, does the Alliance stay together? I think the writers would go a different route this time. So instead they will still be in the Alliance, but on 2 different teams this time. So they can divide and conquer. So I'll say Pencil, Match, Bubble, and Ruby go to Alliance, and Book, Ice Cube, and Fiery go to another team. The rest of the canon Alliance would still form. No reason for it not to. This time when they try to form Bleh, but with Fiery. This means someone has to switch teams in this timeline. So I decide that the most likely change is Gady and Fiery. Anyways, it's time for the first challenge. In this timeline, Alliance wouldn't be as dumb as a 2x4. So instead of looking around for it, they just get lightning to fly up and win. But I doubt Bleh would do much better. Lollipop would be rude to the Alliance. Seeing them as trying to sabotage the team, which isn't the case. Regardless, they are now up for elimination. BFB 2. Let's see who is the first boot in this timeline. Safe is Fiery, Book, and Ice Cube. They got bullied by Lollipop, so they get sympathy votes. Or no sympathy votes in this timeline. Because, well, it isn't vote to save. Teardrop, Saw, and Taco didn't do anything to get voted on. That makes the bottom 2 Lollipop and Dora. Dora is a non-object, but Lollipop is a bully. Yeah, Lollipop is the first boot. We all know bullies never win in BFDI. Before the challenge starts, the Alliance members on Alliance check up on the Bleh members. They get told about the situation with Lollipop and chat about it. But the people here are still dead, so the challenge remains the same. I seriously doubt that having Lollipop leaving over Pencil would change anything here. With how reckless Leafy was here, Beep would still lose. BFB 3. Leafy should have learned to be nicer. Maybe she would have survived this. 4 wouldn't like any chatting, so it's time for the third challenge. Spin around on the swing set 50 times in a row to win. I will say most arcs won't be affected in this timeline. While the Taco arc will change, Book wouldn't be a part of it. But also since Lollipop is gone, the arc wouldn't even exist in the first place. So they would lick Taco out of the Jawbreaker. Anyways, the team would start cheesing the contest, just like in canon. This would lead to the same end result. Team Ice Cube is up for elimination. With Taco being outside the Jawbreaker, Bleh would win faster. BFB 4. Let's see if this elimination will change at all. Bommy is the first safe. Also safe is Barfbag, Naily, Fiery Jr., Spongy, and Donut. The bottom 2 is Gelatin and Ringy. But this is the same bottom 2 as in canon. You'll get to see Icy in the next 2,763 years or so. Bye bye, Bracelety. Now on to the 4th episode. The challenge is to make a cool thing of 4. In this timeline, Bleh and Islands would work together. They would chat about what is happening on both teams. They would both submit and get safety. But the rest of the episode stays the same. So So that means that Death Pact is up for elimination. BFB 5. Sorry, Lie, but I don't see you surviving here. This is the same as in canon. Before the elimination happens, we see Flower and Match talk. Pencil will jump in at the end of the conversation, Flower ends up joining the alliance. She's changed for the better here. Did you expect Flower to join the alliance? Anyways, time to ride the paper airplanes. I don't want to talk about this episode for too long. Classic short episode, and they made it so Beep would lose. BFB 6. Bye, Roboti. You will be missed by, well, Balloony. Donut still multiplies by 4. With Donut now the host, we start the next contest. Donut brings in the Twinkle. Gelatin laughs at it. Tee hee hee hee. Science and Blah rush to get a hiding spot. A better name than that still goes to the moon. But interestingly enough, instead of Blah, it is Free Food which goes with them this time. But Yellowface, Puffball, and Bell can't go with them. So they have to stay on Earth for the whole challenge. This little fact will be important for the next episode. Marker would look down and accidentally bring it up to the moon. Golfball still comments about how her plans never work. Anyways, the rest of the episode stays the same. Bell will get it, and then the losers will be up for elimination. BFB 7. Sorry, loser, you still leave here. Around us are 8 craters, 1 for each team. If the ball gets into your crater, you lose. Go. The team that gets targeted here is a better name than that. I don't see Free Food arguing against this. But then Remote gets hacked. What Golfball doesn't know about this is that they can't communicate through Remote. They can only control her limbs and whatnot. So regardless, a better name than that is up for elimination here. BFB 8. He doesn't have a favorite elimination, he really doesn't. He still gets eliminated on the 8th episode. His favorite number by chance? So as we all know, Donut tries to bring the moon to Earth. But Puffball would just fly them down one by one here instead. With her team being involved up there, she would want everything to be done right. This may have massive effects later, maybe 1 or 2. Anyways, it's time to answer some questions on the quiz. Note that Saw didn't inhale the fumes here because the moon didn't get crushed on the Earth. Death Pact is safe first, but Bubble doesn't get hated on here. So Bubble has much more confidence and answers correctly, because they wouldn't be written to be getting the answer wrong. Cloudy answers correctly, so Beep is safe as well. Free Food is still trying to cheat here, but with Saw not having 8 in her mind, the team could lose. Free Food will start cheating when Blah finally figures out their answer. But what Free Food doesn't know is, Pencil and Match recorded the whole thing. They once again came to help out with the alliance. So Free Food is still up for elimination. BFB 9. Looks like the cheater loses again. Well, see you later, Stapy. X still gets revealed to be hiding in fries. But we know that is not true because the FLA files prove it. Just a little thing I think I would want to mention here. Regardless, the contest is basketball. Basketball. Blocky still cheeses it for a better name than that. Blet and Iance would be easily safe as well. It all comes down to Death Pact and Beep. Pencil and Match remember BFDIA. What happened with the elimination place. With Black Hole on Death Pact, they would not want anything to get destroyed. So now they see Death Pact as a source of accidental evil here. Which, I mean, they kind of are. But Beep still loses. Iance and Blab wouldn't care that much to save them. I still think the Alliance would offer to help them, though. They would accept the offer so they don't lose again. BFB 10. This should be the last time a Beep member goes in BFB. This promise wouldn't even matter, really. It would be a filler arc here. After the elimination, they want to bring back 4. Fiery still tries to get it out of Donut, and it does work. But he needs someone better to do it. He would suggest Book, and Book would agree. Book would now have 4's gratitude token. So Blag gets the rejoiner. Who will it be? BFB 11. Here we are in the exit. Who will get to rejoin the game? It is not Roboti. 8-Ball and David also don't rejoin. Neither does Stapy. Live, Bracelety, and Loser also don't rejoin. Our top 2 is Lollipop and Leafy. Leafy rejoined in canon, and Lollipop barely got any screen time in the entire series. The person rejoining is Leafy. She's still more popular than Lollipop, unfortunately. Flower would still go for Iance, but she still has more confidence here. Blab picks Fiery. He is a fast runner after all. This challenge would end differently though. Iance would focus on trolling Death Pact. So Pi will get distracted, causing Iance to win. So Death Pact is up for elimination here instead. BFB 12. Looks like someone is leaving, but who is safe? Tree, Black Hole, and Pen are all staying. These 4 are harder to determine, but I think Remote and Bottle would be the one safe. The bottom 2 is Pillow and Pie. Pillow is not doing anything in pre-split, while Pie is also boring. But the person eliminated is Pie. The challenge is still the imposters on each team. I'm gonna be honest, with the way this episode was written, I see no team other than Team Ice Cube going up for elimination here. BFB 13/14. See you later, Fiery Jr. Time to dig underground to find the gems. I think this episode something happens. Iance has been getting away too easy here. Golfa will ensure Iance loses this time around. She can even get her team to help her here. Let's see how this elimination will play out with Iance being up for elimination. BFB 15. Time to see how Iance fares this time around with a strong immunity streak. Safe are all the Alliance members being Bubble, Ruby, Flower, Match, and Pencil. That leaves 3 people left. Who will avoid the bottom 2? Lightning. They are more useful in this timeline. That means the bottom 2 is Snowball and Fanny. Snowball has been rude, but also fell into the background. While Fanny has been more notable, but also is rude, obviously. Snowball is the last one safe. Fanny is eliminated, but it would be decently close. Fanny got more votes than Snowball in canon, so that's why she's going to be leaving here. Iance is safe automatically, of course. The last challenge of BFB pre-split is to get to 4. I think we all know where this is going to go, though. Team Ice Cube will lose here. Time to see how the split goes. Time to calculate who goes where during the split. Let's just get the cannon split and see from there. it looks like this. Now first, the eliminated contestants must leave. We are missing Lollipop and BFB, and Fanny and Pie and Teapot. This really boils down to what the Alliance wants to do here. I think they would be going for Teapot. Now we have 4 people missing from BFB. I will fill them in with the most likely contestants. I moved Cloudy over to be with Balloony. That just makes a lot more sense than being in Teapot. Cloudy would bring Rocky with him. And to finish it off, the bros are going to be staying together here. The only weird thing here is Flower. Also, Dora joins Teapot. The Alliance would want Flower to join Teapot, but they would let her follow her dreams and stay in BFB, being the weakest link in the Alliance. Anyways, I still want to cover BFB post-split, so let's move on. BFB 17. First things first, we need the teams. So let me get that done. This is the canon contestants on the teams. Now I added in the new ones. The challenge is to return X back to 4. Team X doesn't change strategy here. Eraser wouldn't change anything. Team 4 would have to walk all the way to get X due to the lack of the free Smart Super Van, which would be available for those in Teapot. I think you get the point. Team 4 would lose here. BFB 18. One interesting team. First safe is Leafy. Next safe is Teardrop and Pen. Escaping the bottom 2 is Gelatin and Balloony. The bottom 2 is Cloudy and Rocky. I can reasonably see either leaving, but I would say Cloudy is the last one safe here. Sorry Rocky, but Cloudy and Balloony are here together, so they would be much more popular. It looks like you're going to be the first one to see the new elimination place. The next contest is knock down the enemy team's tower. Team 4 still tries to impersonate Flower, but it is Pen this time. He still gets kicked out, but they let Gelatin in, just like in canon. Teardrop, Cloudy, and Balloony would do some chicanery, and it ends with Team X's tower falling down. Good job. Let's see who will leave on Team X. BFB 19. The first safe is Blocky. Him and Eraser being here would really help him out. Anyways, also safe is Woody, Flower, and Eraser. Who will escape the bottom 2? Taco. The bottom 2 is Loser and Spongy. Loser got screwed over by the bros being here. Anyways, the last one safe is Loser. Bye bye Spongy. Now they need to improve the sun so X can grow his plants. The have-nots don't have a plan this time. The original plan came from Fiery, who isn't here. The have-cots are not doing much better. I imagine Teardrop, Cloudy, and Balloony would be doing something together again. I'm not sure what it would be, but it would give them some points, at least. The friendship would boost Cloudy and Balloony's popularity, of course. Both teams still go back and forth on different things that they're doing. But because of the new trio, I feel like that would give them an advantage and the have-nots lose instead. BFB 20. This will be a bit more tricky to predict. Safe is Blocky and Woody, followed by Flower and Loser. The bottom 2 is Taco and Eraser. Taco is here because she isn't as popular. And Eraser is here because he's just a bit boring. This might be close, but I say Eraser barely clutches this one. Sorry Taco, but this had to happen. The biggest change this episode would be the Lollipop scene not existing. The challenge is to cool down X. The trio would try to do something, but Blocky and Eraser are now teaming up. And as we know, the writers would do... This is how I think the writers would do it. They would want to have the have-cots lose this challenge so that it's evened out on the teams. BFB 21. Let's see how this shakes things up. Of course, the first safe is our trio, being Cloudy, Teardrop, and Balloony. Who escaped the bottom two? I believe that would be Pen, due to the bros getting more support here. Bottom two is Gelatin and Leafy. I think the last one safe is Gelatin. Sorry, Leafy, but everyone else is more popular now. Looks like we have equal teams here. The challenge is still to give the best gifts. I won't cover much because in this timeline, loser's gonna be fumbling a lot. So that means that the have-nots are up for elimination. BFB 22. I'm gonna make this one quick. Safe is Blocky, Flower, Woody, and Eraser. Sorry, loser, I can't see you surviving past this point. They would automatically write loser out here. That's what I'm betting on. Challenge is to figure out who stole the diary. Both teams have a much harder time here. Without Leafy or Fiery here, nobody would have a single clue. Well, as it turns out, the one who stole it was Blocky, so him and Eraser could get more information that could maybe help them win. And Gelatin would be handing out wrong answers left, right, and center. So the have-cots are up for elimination here. BFB 23. I'll keep this one short as well. Safe is Cloudy, Pen, Teardrop, and Balloony. Looks like the runner-up is gone now. Gelatin really just likes fumbling random things. And the teams are equal again. And 4 is also still in jail. The challenge is to get him out. We all know that Teardrop would clutch this. So the have-nots are up for elimination again. BFB 24. Let's see who leaves here. First safe is Blocky, followed by Woody. The bottom two is Eraser and Flower. In this timeline, the bros are starting to get way more popular, while Flower still has her fashion line still. But the last one safe, in my opinion, is Flower. This is all due to the voting style here. Vote to save screwed over Eraser. If it was a vote to eliminate, they probably would have targeted Flower and got her out instead. The next challenge is... Wait. Oh, that's right. Time to start the merge here. Anyways, the first merge challenge is to make a party for 4. This time nobody has an issue with it. Blocky, Pen, and Woody would work together. The trio works together as well. And Flower is late to making her own party. Out of all the parties made, I think Pen, Teardrop, and Blocky would make the best. So now Flower, Cloudy, Balloony, and Woody are up for elimination. BFB 25. I can see who leaves here. I will make this quick. Safe is Flower, Woody, and Balloony. Sorry, Cloudy, but you're useless now. You can't even do the challenges. The next challenge is to get the good totems instead of the cursed ones. Out of everyone here, I think they would make Flower and Balloony safe. So Woody, Pen, Teardrop, and Blocky are all up for elimination. BFB 26. Let's see who leaves here. Safe is Teardrop and Blocky. The bottom two is Woody and Pen. I'm going off the OG episode votes. The last one safe here is Pen. Sorry, Woody, but your vote splitting wouldn't do very well here. As we all know, Profiley still tries to join here. But the challenge is to get rid of them instead, so they don't officially join. At least that's how I see it. The person who gets immunity this time is Teardrop. She didn't get it last episode. BFB 27. I can just skip to the end on this one. Sorry, Balloony, but you're cooked here. At least you somehow made it to 5th place. It is time to escape the oven. Let's see how everyone does here. Flower and Teardrop work together just like in canon. Well, Blocky and Pen work together as well. This might be way closer than in canon, but I see Flower running the immunity here. Blocky would attack Teardrop trying to get her out in this next elimination. Let's see if that works. BFB 28. The first one safe is Teardrop. It seems like Blocky's plan obviously backfired. So which one of them will be eliminated here? I think it would be Pen that's safe. Just barely. Sorry, Blocky, but your plan got you out. The announcer is back. And it's time for the final challenge. All three of them will be trying hard here. As we all know, Flower won this challenge in canon. But Pen is locked in here to help the bros win. So I think it'll be extremely close here, but in the end, I'd say Pen scrapes by to make this juicier. I feel like that's something that the writers would do if they had the chance. Pen would try to make things up with Teardrop here, not wanting to create an enemy. So the bros have made peace with Teardrop. BFB 29. Now this elimination is going to be controversial. Teardrop had the whole trio arc thing in this timeline, while Flower still has her fashion line and all. But I think this will be a surprising elimination. The one safe is Teardrop. Flower barely got eliminated here. One interesting final too. Some chicanery from the announcer still happens. With the announcer... Also, what does the announcer have against budgets in the first place? Regardless, we will move on to BFB 30 now. This episode was basically just aura farming. BFB 30. Let's find out who will win BFB here. Both have played really well here, but I see a clear winner. Teardrop wins BFB here. Good job, Pen. Getting second is nice as well. Teardrop had the focus in BFB 29, so that's why she wins here. I see Teardrop still chasing down the announcer, like Flower did in canon. A lot of events stay similar to canon. The final shot is the bros sailing away this time, because they want to start something cool. Anyways, I hope you guys like this what if. I want to know what you think about this down in the comments. Should I improve on the style of my what ifs a bit more? Just let me know down in the comments what you think. I might cover Teapot once Teapot finishes, but I might cover them earlier. Anyways, see ya.